Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa man wala. So inshallah today in SORFU we will be talking about verb and its several divisions. Al-fi'lu wa iddatu taqasimihi. That is the divisions that we have under verb. You may know part of these divisions before, but in this SORF inshallah we'll treat all of the divisions under verb. So the first one that we'll be treating in this slide is past, present, and imperative verbs. That is, فعل ماض, فعل مضارع, فعل أمر. So, what does each of this verb entail? So, let's start with الفعل الماضي. الفعل الماضي وعلاماته. That is, past tense and its words and its indicators. What does فعل ماضي mean? الفعل الماضي ما يدل على حدوث شيء قبل زمن التكلم. It is the verb that indicates that something occurred before the time of speech. Like the verb come, it stood. It is not that he wants to stood or he is standing. He want to stand rather, or he is standing. He stood. So the verb stood here is Madi because it has occurred before the time of speech. So we have other verbs also, qa'ada, he sat, akala, ate, and so on. Now let's look into the let's delve into the signs and indicators. مثلا علاماته أن يقابل تاء الفاعل. That is the signs that it accepts ta of the subject. We call it تاء الفاعل, or rather we can also call it تاء المتحرك. So for example, قرأت. The ta in qara'tu here is ta'ul fa'il. That is the first indicator. The second indicator is that it can also accept ta'u ta'nif sakina, that is the feminine ta. This ta indicates that the subject here is what is a female, like the ta in the verb qara'at. So it means that the subject here is a female. So these two ta, fi'l madi can collect them. That means these are the signs of fi'l madi. So we also have fi'l mudari, that is the second one, the second type under this first division. So the side fi'l mudari ما دل على حدوث شيء في زمن التكلم أو بعده. So it is the verb that indicates occurrence of an action before the time of speech or after the time of speech. This is not like the first one. The first one is before the time of speech, but this one is during the time of speech or after the time of speech. For example, يقرأ Muhammad. Muhammad is reading. Like the time you are talking, he is still reading. It is continuous tense. It can also be translated to Muhammad will read. That is in the future tense. So this means that fi'lul mudari comprises and connotes both future tense and continuous tense. فهو صالح للحال والاستقبال. That is, it is valid for both the present and the future. Now let's talk about the indicators. The first indicator we have is أن يصح وقوعه بعد لم. That is, it can occur or happen after the particle lam. We have something we call lam. This lam is a particle, or let's say it's a preposition that we use for negation. It is used for negation um in SORF or Nahaw. So example of this in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Ikhlas, Lam yalid wa lam yulad. So the word yalid here is, the verb yalid is mudari. Why? Because it accepts lam, or it occurs after lam. Now the second indicator is لابد أن يكون مبدوءا بحرف من حروف أنيت. It must begin with one of anaita. What is the meaning of anaita? Anaita are letters of mudari. So if a verb is mudari and it doesn't begin with one of these anaita, it means that it is not mudari. Okay, so anaita is like an acronym that comprises four things: a hamza, nun, yaw, ta. Now let's explain each what each indicates. So the first one is al hamza. Al hamza lil mutakallim. It is for the speaker. So if um verb or fi'l mudari starts with hamza, it means that the subject there is the speaker. Like akra'u sahifa. I'm reading a newspaper. Akra'u al-majalla. I am reading a magazine. So the second one is unknown. So this one is for the speakers. So it's either it's for the speaker and other people around him. Like nahnu nakra, we are reading. So when mudari starts with non, it means that this day we have not a single speaker, but two or more. So the third one, the third letter is alia. Alia is for the absent, the masculine, or the absent masculine. That is a male that is not here. Or so yeah, and it is also used for absent feminine. So like what? Yaqra Muhammad. Muhammad is reading. And for the absent feminine, Yaqra'na al-Muslimat. The group of Muslim women, they are what? They are reading. So the last one is atta. So ta, it is for adversary in all cases. Maybe female, male, they are two, they are three, like Taqraw Muhammad. Oh, you Muhammad, you are reading. Taqraw, yani, Taqra'u, Taqra'ani, you are both reading, and so on. So these are the ahruf, the letters of present tense, ahruful mudari. Now let's look into the last type under this division, and that is al-filul amr. Al-filul amr, it is used for request. That's why they call it imperative verb. So we use it to request something or to command someone to do something. So, and it happens after the time of the speech, like the word ijtahid, strive, idhab, go, udkhul, enter, and so on. So the indicators, the first one is an yakbala nun of tawkid, it accepts nun of emphasis. So another one is yaul mukhataba, ya for addressee. That is the addressee, the feminine addressee. Okay, like ikra'i, ikra'i, izhabi, ya Fatima. Oh, you Fatima, go. And it and also it must indicate a request or command whenever we use Mawi. Now there is one thing that we need to talk about. So this is not under this division. So the only types we have under this division are three, and they are Maldi, Mudari, and Amr. Now we have to talk about another thing, and that is Ismu Fi'lin. Ismu Fi'lin, we talk about it because it is also it also comprises Maldi, Mudari, Amr. Now let's talk about what is Ismu Fi'l. We can see that it is combined from two words, or it's coined from two words, Ismu and Fi'l. Okay. Now what is the definition? The definition is تدل على معاني الأفعال ولا يقبل علاماتها. That is, they are words that denote the meanings of verb, but they don't collect the word, they don't accept their signs. They also indicate the meaning of verb, but they don't accept their signs. All the signs that we stated for Malvi, they don't accept it. The one that we stated for Mudari, they don't. For Amr, they don't. So, and they are also classified into three types: اسم فعل ماض, اسم فعل مضارع, اسم فعل أمر. The examples are also there. For ماضي هيهات, شتان. For مضارع وي, أف. For أمر صح and آمين. That's all. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.